They decided to cut that one out. And they get married. It's so cute. Yes.
We talking about murder?
I'm sorry. What was that?
I ask the same question every year.
Okay.
So, Bleach, what's your favorite yaoi couple?
Favorite yaoi couple? Why's he gotta be a dude? I guess because it's yaoi. Kenpachi. Don Kanoji. Don't you think they'd be an alright? They would work out as a couple. I know. I just wanted to pick one that was like so far out there that nobody ever thought about. You guys really just went. Yeah, I think Kenpachi's on top, right? But he doesn't know how to use his. Never mind. All right, other question. Hey guys, come on. Kid, you ask that every year? How many years has it been? Bak-anime? 4? 5? 6, 8? This is the 8th one. Have you? Who's been here every single year? You've been here every single year? Wow. And now you're leaving. So you just come here to ask the question and then you're done. Okay. All right. Well, cool. I'm glad I could be the 8th answer. Probably the worst answer too. All right, fine. Renji and Ichigo. That's the answer. See, she's jumping up and down now. All right. Yes.
How do you feel about working with Yuri Lowenthal? Just because we were bringing up Code Geass and earlier they were bringing up Persona. So how did it feel like in that one? Because from Persona 4 the game, before you were actually voicing you a lot more, you had an opposite role between Adachi and then certain roles were played up by Yosuke that would come up just because the protagonist wouldn't say anything. And then when we have Lelouch and Suzaku from Code Geass, how does it just feel when you guys interact in that sort of way? Or, I mean, I know that there's the booths that come up with those recordings, but how do you feel just when things work out on that way?
Yuri's an awesome actor and voice actor. The thing is we don't, I mean, we've worked on some projects where we've been there together with a group of other actors, but most of the time with the anime, like I don't even see him, you know, maybe in the hallway or something, but usually anime and video games, a lot of times we're there by ourselves. So I've worked opposite him a lot. Actually, more than just those two projects, but I mean, he's always great, you know. I feel like I know. Here's the thing: if I ever hear that he's in the project or he's in the cast or whatever, then I know it's going to be a pretty decent, you know, cast. I know that he's obviously going to deliver, you know. He always does, and so yeah, no, I have a lot of respect for him. A lot of and other ones like Steve Bloom. Anytime he's in it as well, I'm like, oh sweet, you know. So anytime I hear like certain voice actors are in the cast as well, I'm like, oh sweet. Just it makes it that much cooler for me, I guess. The project. Yes.
What was it like when you were working on Durana voicing Isaiah? How was it? And can you also do the quote from him?
What was it like voicing Isaiah?
Yeah.
Isaiah he's just cool. He's he's like yeah, I auditioned for a couple different characters actually, but he was the one character that I think they were kind of leaning me towards that anyways, but that was the one character I was like, I kind of like this one. He's kind of, you know, he's conniving, he likes to play people a little bit, you know, and he's a little wacky, he's a little weird sometimes. So yeah, he's a lot of fun. A line, gosh, I can't, there's not like a specific line, he doesn't really have a catchphrase or anything. What is he? He says this sometimes. Humans are so interesting. And then usually people that like I say that like and they're like, so is he an alien? Like, no, never mind. Go watch it. Huh? He likes to play chess. Kind of like Lelouch. Who would win in a game of chess, Lelouch or Isaiah?
Obviously.
Lelouch, right? Yeah. Well, I mean, Lelouch could be just like this. Lelouch, Lieutenant command you to lose. And then even Isaiah would be like, okay. Do you guys have any band questions? Yes.
Where's somewhere you would like to play, anywhere in the world, where's somewhere you'd like to play that you haven't yet?
Wembley Stadium.
Where would you like to play?
Spain.
The moon.
The sun. That would be pretty cool.
That would be hot.
I feel like the moon
That'd be burning hot.
is possible. The sun probably would never happen.
That'll be a solo show for you.
Yay!
Johnny's one-man tour on the sun.
One time only.
He died. It's just one show. All right, yes. Yes.
Did you enjoy playing Bash, Stampede?
Vash, yes. Vash is fun, yeah. Vash is like, you work on a show like that, like Trigun, and you play Vash. You leave a show, you just leave feeling goofy and happy. You just become that a little bit. What was that? Did I eat more donuts? I ate a few donuts, yes. I ate a donut today, and anytime I eat a donut, I think of Vash, though. I really do. And I ate a donut today, and I was like, hey, I'm like Vash, eating donuts. Mine is looking super cool and having a cool jacket and all that stuff. Yeah. Huh? And I'm older. Yes. And slightly Asian. Yes, in the back. Yeah. Where's the strangest?
Where's the best place to perform as the band?
Oh, where's the best place? Favorite place as a band to perform? Yeah, okay. Favorite? Bak-anime? Blade Man. What?
What?
What about you guys?
We got to go to Japan and that was really awesome.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was really fun. Brazil was also crazy cool.
For me, it was Miami. My first gig with Eyeshine. I went to New Zealand and that was pretty cool. I turned 18 there.
That was fun. Japan is actually probably my favorite of all of them. And it was like, because if we go, like we play a show anywhere else, I don't know if you guys have been to LA, the Sunset Strip, or seen any shows like the Viper Room or any of that. Those are like, everybody's like, anybody in a band wants to play somewhere like that, you know? And then when you actually play there, you're like, oh, really? It's not as awesome as I thought, you know? But you go to Japan, and the reason is because like the sound guys and the guys doing backline and all the amps and all that, they don't care. But in Japan, they care about everything. It's like they have a sound guy and he's got his assistants or whatever. Their job is to set up these mics or set up these amps, and they lose face if they don't do it right, you know, if it doesn't sound right. And they're just so professional that, to me, that was the first thing I noticed. I was like, man, they really care. Because a lot of times, I mean, we go anywhere, half the time we go somewhere, I mean, they just don't care. But it was pretty cool. And the other thing was, I didn't know what it was going to be like to play in front of a Japanese audience, you know. I'm like, how many of them actually speak English, you know, and what are they going to do? And the first show was, the band that was going on was a visual K band. So they do the makeup up on or whatever, and wear a mask or something, and they do stuff. And when they start singing, it's like kind of like 80s rock, sort of, you know, and the crowd, they space themselves out and they start doing like line dancing, and they're like whatever stuff, right? And they're all synchronized. And so this was the band right before us, and I was like, what? I was like, do Japanese people do this like for every band? And I had no idea. And then after the show, right before we got on, I asked the band before, I was like, hey, did you guys teach them that stuff? Are they gonna do that when we go up there? And he's like, no, that's our style. Visual K, that's what the audience does. And so I had no idea what to expect, thinking they're just gonna sit there or leave. But when we got up and started playing, they just got into it, and they were kind of crazy. Especially the second show, you remember that? The second show was like, it was a rock venue. So as soon as we started playing, they were stage diving. They were like jumping up on stage and jumping off, which was really cool, like, I don't know, they were really into it. So I liked that. That was actually really cool. Not that we want you guys to stage dive at our acoustic show tonight. It'd be a little weird. We're like playing soft music, and you're like, I don't know, maybe you could try it. Somebody can try it, and that's all right. We won't get too upset until somebody gets hurt. Yes?
Can we really throw peanuts, M&Ms, and gummy bears at you guys?
Yeah, I'll take the peanut M&Ms. It's peanut M&Ms. There shouldn't be a comma between it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and the gummy bears, yes. And cash, if you have it. Did they take out the cash? Okay, yeah. We accept all forms of candy and food. If you throw things at us, that's fine. But they packaged. Yeah. Don't open it and then throw it at us. And we don't throw change at us. Bills. An old coin. Hey, if the coin is worth $1,400, yes, then you could throw it up there. Throw Red Bull? No. Take somebody out with it. Yeah. Have I seen Akira? The anime? Yeah, I'm counted. Of course I've seen it. I thought you were talking about like a live action version or something that was out. Yeah, I've seen it, and I mean, 'cause I was in it. I saw it both times. I saw the streamlined version as well, like in '80, whenever it came out. But it was the first thing that I saw that I knew was called anime. In fact, I read about it in some like anime magazine or whatever. And it was cool. It was so different from anything I had seen before. Like I was used to Popeye, or Tom and Jerry, or just like a cartoon like that, And so seeing that like changed my world. Yeah, so cool. Yes.
So do you actually watch the animes that you're in? Like when you're done recording them, do you just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch this show now?
Some of the anime that I'm in, I watch. Yeah.
Watch Code Geass?
Code Geass, yes. Yeah. There's certain ones that I'm like, I have to see this one, And there are some where I'm like a super small role that I might just watch whatever episode I was in. And then some that are really dumb. And I'm like, I do not want to see this one. But most of the time I try to check it out, yeah. I need to know it a little better. You guys usually know the stuff better than I do because you're seeing it from a different side, like the complete version of it, really. I see the broken up pieces of it. So it's obviously cooler for you. When I see it, it's like, it's just different, obviously. Yes? How did I go from being a Power Ranger to a voice actor? Well, I couldn't get a job. I already told you guys this, and I started getting into music. But anyways, at one point, a couple years after Power Rangers, Koichi Sakamoto and Alpha Stunts, they did all the stunt stuff in Power Rangers. So the putties or the helmet heads, the Rangers, he was in charge of a lot of the stunt stuff. When we were doing fight stuff, he was choreographing and shooting that stuff. Anyway, so after Power Rangers, a couple years later, his stunt team wanted to shoot a stunt movie, and brought me on to play one of the roles. And they're all Japanese, and the camera was Japanese, but the sound guy wasn't Japanese. And so when he tried to get the sound out, something didn't work right, and so I had to go in and dub myself. And as I was in the studio dubbing myself, the producer walked in and heard my voice, and he said, "Oh, you got a good hero voice," and eventually called me in to audition for some anime, for Trigun actually. And I auditioned for Trigun, and I got the role of Vash, and that was it. I mean, it was just, you know. So basically, if the sound wasn't screwed up, I wouldn't be here talking about voiceover. I mean, it's crazy, right? It's like a total mistake. Most of my life is mistakes. And I was like, huh, how'd that happen? I guess it worked out. Yes, little Ichigo figure.
Yes. Was there a job or list of jobs you ever had regrets doing? And which ones and why?
A list of jobs.
Yeah. Did you ever have a regret doing voice?
Oh, like, an actual character or something? Yeah, there's been a couple. I can't tell you which ones they are though, because then those companies won't hire me again. But there are a couple that I don't like. I'll tell you a story. Here's one. It was a game. I don't remember I actually don't even know if I ever knew the name of the game. I just got called in. They said, "Hey, we got this game we're doing. We want you to come in and play do a miscellaneous voice." And so I showed up, and I was like, "Hey, what do I look at?" Because they had all these sides for the different roles or whatever. And I was looking at it. And it was Goblin, like number 13. It was like a number or something, right? So I was like, "Oh, okay." And I was looking at it, and the lines were all just vowels. And I was like, "What? I don't get it." You know? I was like, "What is it?" It's just like, what is that? And he's like, "Oh, you know, goblin noises." And I'm like, "I don't know any goblins, so I don't know what they sound like." And then I was just like, in my head, I was thinking, would they sound like a pig, you know? And I was like, could I do like a like that? And it's like, yeah, that's a goblin. And I was like, "Oh, okay." And so I did that for like 4 hours. You know? And it's like, now you're on fire. You know? Now you're being electrocuted. You know? It's like all these, you know, different things. You're dying this way or that way. And so I did that for 4 hours and lost my voice. And I had a new role that I was supposed to work on this series, and I got recast because I had no voice to be able to start that show. And I don't remember the name of the game. So, but yeah, that would be my least favorite role if I were a teenager. Do you have a least favorite job? Like, what was the worst job you ever had? Tell them, don't tell me.
Data entry, night shift, like, you know, working from 11:30 p.m. till like the next morning. That's the worst job.
You have a worst job?
I used to work at a winery.
Is that on? Oh yeah.
And then it was like called Saddle Up Wine Tours, and we take these people on horses, and they would get drunk, and then they would go from like wineries to wineries. And my job was to follow behind them in a truck, and like whenever they got fucked off and hurt, I would have to like take them back. It'd be like $5 an hour too.
He needs a raise.
Gosh, worst job. I was in a band once, and the singer was kind of dumb. He kept on doing all these weird voices all the time. I'm like, why do you keep doing that?
Wow, that sounds very familiar. Yes. My name is Johnny.
Ginny.
Jiho,
Chris Martin.
Yeah, Polo's not with us right now. He's in Hawaii. Otherwise, he would be here. If you guys are familiar with Polo, he's on vacation. But tonight, we're going to try to call him up to see if he can do a solo over the phone. We've never done it before, but we want to try it. Yes. What was it like voicing Yu Narukami and Adachi in Persona 4? Well, that was really weird. At first, the first one that I did was the game, and I knew they said you're voicing Adachi, and that's all I knew at that point. And so I was working